G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Kaitlyn and I'm an American living in beautiful Sydney, Australia. So I recently did a video about the song the band played, Waltzing Matilda, and so many people suggested that I listen to the original version by Eric Bogle, and some people even recommended other songs from Eric Bogle as well. One of them is what we'll be listening to today, No Man's Land from Eric Bogle Live. I am sorry, I can't quite pronounce the channel, but I will have the original video linked down below as always. So I have no idea what the song's about. Obviously, it's probably going to be a very touching, grief-stricken, move-in song, giving the song that I had originally reacted to, and people suggested this in the comments, so it's probably going to be in a very similar vein to And the Band Played Waltzing Matilda. So grab a Bicky, grab a cuppa, and if this is going to be anything in similar vein to And the Band Played Waltzing Matilda, grab a few tissues as well, and let's get right into the song.
Well, how'd you do, Private Willie McBride? Do you mind if I sit here down by your graveside, and I'll rest for a while in the warm summer sun? Been walking all day, Lord, and I'm nearly done. And I see by your gravestone you're only 19 when you joined the glorious fallen in 1916. I hope you died quick, and I hope you died clean. On Willie McBride, was it slow and obscene? Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they sound the fife lowly? Did the rifles fire o'er ye as they lowered you down?
Oof. Okay, yeah, this is going to be in similar vein to And the Band Played Waltzing Matilda. Like, comment down below now, start taking bets am I going to cry by the end of this, because you guys know I could be an absolute crybaby at these things. But that just, oof. 19, like, think about what you were doing at 19 years old. And imagine going off as one of the Anzacs in World War I, 1916 at 19 years old. Just oof. Like, these kinds of songs are what give you shivers.
Did the bugles sing the last post in chorus? Did the pipes play the flutes of the forest? And did you leave a wife or a sweetheart behind? In some faithful heart it's your memory enshrined. And though you died back in 1916, for that loyal heart are you forever 19? Or are you a stranger without even a name, forever enshrined behind some glass pane, in an old photograph, torn and tattered and stained, and fading to yellow in a brown leather frame?
Oof. Okay, so if you commented down below that I ended up crying, yeah, we're not even halfway through, and okay, here I am already bawling my eyes out, but not necessarily because of this song. The song's beautiful, it's touching. These are the kinds of songs that, as I've said in my last reaction video, the band played Waltzing Matilda, it goes beyond Australia, it goes beyond culture, it goes beyond World War I. This is the sort of thing that resonates with a lot of people. But like that image of being a stranger in a frame that nobody knows your name, nobody really remembers who you are. I have a great aunt over in the States. Her and her sister were actually retired Felicia nuns, and they were basically like grandmoms on my dad's side of the family. It was very, very close to them. I'm gonna say this is stoically as possible just to try to get through this, but one of them passed away in 2015. She was in her mid-80s, just deteriorated for her health, but a couple years before that, the youngest of the two ended up with a stroke that was pretty severe. We're lucky that it didn't completely paralyze her, but she had difficulty with word association. She just couldn't really speak in pretty much a fluid sentence that was more than like 3 or 4 words. And she lived over in New Jersey. When her sister passed away, she was in her 80s as well. It's not like she had anybody else to take care of her. So my parents were kind enough or gracious enough to bring her over to Philly, and she lived with us for a while. She'd actually lived with my parents for a couple years before I went over there. It was right after I met Mark. COVID had literally just happened. It was the week that everything shut down that I actually moved back in with my parents to help my aunt, because she was starting to show signs of fairly moderate dementia on top of just an overall struggle to speak. And she went from moderate to severe pretty much within 3 months before I moved over to Australia. So she's been in a assisted living facility ever since I moved over here. I'd see her a few times going over there, and I remember the last time I talked to her was Christmas Eve when I moved over here. So it's been over a year. Obviously, it's through video chats. It's not like I could just call up her room. This isn't something that's very easy to organize, particularly with the time difference, because when my parents go over there, it's while we're asleep over here. They'll go over like noon, 1 o'clock to go over and see her. So when Mark and I go over to the States, hopefully she will still be around with us. We're going to go over there and see her and visit her. Mark can actually meet her in person, even though knowing she's not going to know who I am at all. I said stoic. I could do stoic. Damn it, I'm gonna do stoic. I'm gonna finish this. So because she has such severe dementia at this point, she remembers some names from people in the past, but she can't really associate who's who. You can't really tell by her face. It's very much like a glazed over look. Once in a while, she can point at her sister and she remembers her sister's name, but she came from a very big Polish family who immigrated over here before she was born. And she has all of these pictures of her brothers who were in the Navy in World War II, whose names we don't know. And there's nobody in my family who knows who they were. My dad and my uncle have no idea. And my aunt with dementia is the only person who would remember, but of course even if she knows in her head who it is, she can't verbalize, she can't say it. She's unfortunately just too far gone. And this is something that, looking back on it, of course, you kick yourself. You wish you knew the stories. You wish you talked to people. Like, these are pictures of my great uncles and some great aunts. I mean, they're my family and I don't even know what their names are. And these are pictures of them at my age and younger. I mean, they're incredible photos, but I have no idea who's in them. So they mean something to her, but when she passes, what is that going to do for us? Are these just going to be photos that sit in a shoebox until somebody doesn't feel guilty enough to throw them out somewhere? I mean, how devastating is that? Ooh, so this song just dug up something that I was not expecting. So I'm going to pause this for a couple minutes, compose myself, because clearly I am an absolute mess right now. I was not expecting that to drag up something personal like that, but compose myself, calm down a little bit, and I will come back in a few minutes. So if I look a little bit different, you guys, it's because I'm pausing this, and we'll be back soon.
Beat the drums slowly. Did they sound the fife lonely? Did the rifles fire on ye as they lowered you down? Did the bugles sing the last post in chorus? Did the pipes play the flutes of the forest?
So I've heard, was it The Last Post or And the Last Post? Sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head which it was. The Last Post, I think. So I never heard it until my very first Anzac Day here. We're probably going to do the same thing for Anzac Day, and I'll see if I can get a video for that as well. Mark and I took a ride up to this cafe up on Putty Road called Graham's. Absolutely lovely place. They had their very first Anzac Day ceremony up there, and they're probably going to do the same thing again this year, so Mark and I are going to go up there. But that was the very first time I heard it was actually on Anzac Day. And even as somebody who, like, the song doesn't really resonate with me as it would as compared to somebody who actually grew up here, who spent their life here, who's heard the song multiple times, at least on Anzac Day. Like, it's still a beautiful and touching song and tribute, and it's probably one of those things where after a few years, after hearing it a few times, I'll probably get a little bit more used to picking it out, but right now I can't really remember how it sounded. After a few Anzac Days and whatnot here, I'll probably be a little bit more familiar with it, but for now, it was a beautiful song. It was very touching, but I couldn't pick the song out in a crowd, to be honest.
Are the sun shining now on these green fields of France? The warm wind blows gently, the red poppies dance. The trenches have vanished long under the plough. No gas and no barbed wire, no guns firing now. But here in this graveyard, it's still no man's land. The countless white crosses in youth witness stand to man's blind indifference to his fellow man, and a whole generation who were butchered and damned. Did they beat the drums slowly? Did they sound the fife lowly? Did the rifles fire o'er ye as they lowered ye down? Did the bugles sing the last post in chorus? Did the pipes play the flutes of the forest?
The image of that graveyard, though, I've been to Arlington Cemetery once over in the States, and it's obviously a little bit more symbolic in a sense because it's in the nation's capital. It wasn't where a bunch of people died pretty much on that land itself. But it's very moving to see a cemetery that's designed like that, that's built like that. It's also very haunting. It's very touching. I'm hoping to get the chance to go to Arlington when we go over to the States later on this year, maybe show Mark. But I've been in a cemetery that has a very similar look to how he's describing, but I can't imagine what that cemetery would feel like knowing that that was the battlegrounds where these people actually died.
And I can't help but wonder, Willie McBride, do all those who lie here know why they died? Did you really believe them when they told you the cause? You really believe that this war would end wars? Well, the suffering, the sorrow, the glory, the shame, the killing, the dying, it was all done in vain. For Willie McBride, it's all happened again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Did they beat the drums slowly? Did they sound the fife lowly? Did the rifles fire o'er ye as they lowered ye down? Did the bugles sing the last post in chorus? Did the pipes play the flutes of the forest? Did the bugles sing the last post in chorus? And did the pipes play the flutes of the forest?
And that is one powerful song. He is an incredible songwriter. Darug Bogle has just so much talent. It's actually pretty incredible. I might actually look at his rendition of "And the Band Played Waltzing Matilda," even though I know the song and I understand the meaning and whatnot behind it. It'd still be nice to see the original since he was the original composer. But man, does that resonate, because how many people in World War I, Aussies, Americans, Brits, were told that this would be the war that ends war. And I mean, I was only one of 2 world wars, and on top of all of the wars and whatever else you want to call them after that. I know people say the Korean War wasn't a war and Vietnam was a conflict, not a war. Okay. It might not have been the war to end wars, but what would they have thought if they could see what Australia looks like now? I mean, even for Americans in World War I, do you think that they would have thought that it was worth it, the sacrifices that they made to see what America's like now? And I'm not talking the politics, I'm not talking the negativity, I'm talking imagine what it would be like for them seeing the country. Picture what it would have been like in 1916 compared to what it's like in modern day Sydney or say modern day New York. Would they have still considered it worth it? Because even if it wasn't the war to end all wars, without what they did, without the sacrifice, our countries, America and Australia, wouldn't be the countries that they are today. They might not even exist as the countries. Like, they might have been invaded by somebody else if it wasn't for that. So there's so much to take into account, but it is such a sad song. One of those songs that, again, even though there are a lot of Australian references and Anzac references, goes beyond just Australian culture. This is something that so many people could resonate with. And it's one of the things that makes Darug Bogle such a gifted and powerful and incredible songwriter, is that he's able to take these songs, even with these Australian references and these contexts, and turn them into songs that resonate with anyone in pretty much any country and any culture. So that's it for this video, you guys. I should have expected better. I should have known that I was going to cry like a baby at this one. So I'm going to go have a drink, calm down, and I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. I really do appreciate the support. And if you guys have any videos that you want me to react to, pop over to Discord and send me the links over there. I don't check the links in my YouTube comments, so definitely go over to Discord and leave them in there. That's it for this video, you guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.